Hello, welcome to the podcast, Walk on the Spiritual Outside. My guest today is Charlotte Smith, who is a crystal healer and an owner of Rebel Crystals. Also, is caster of Witches' Runes, which I have bought some. Oh my gosh, yeah,
Oh, yes.
I have, yeah.
Amazing.
I thought, right,
Amazing.
okay, I'm going to take full advantage of this while I can. Um,
Amazing.
we're going to talk to Charlotte about her personal journey and talk about her crystals and the witch's ruin, which I've just, we just thing. Please be mindful that we all work differently. So you may not agree to that, so you might not agree. Always keep an open mind though, because we learn from each other, so we all gain and learn from each other. Um, I just want to say, guys, take a look on the website. I am going to show the website a bit later on in the podcast, but take a look to see what Charlotte does, and you can, if you're interested in having healing, if you're in the UK Bristol area. It is Bristol you're from, isn't it, Charlotte? I don't know. Uh,
No, so I'm in Yateley in Hampshire, so
oh, get it right. See, I told you. Yeah.
it's not
So
that
you're
far.
in
It's a
that
couple of
area.
hours.
Yeah, if you're in that area or you're interested to having because you do healing as well, don't you? Which we're going
Yeah.
to really talk about that. So Charlotte, thank you for coming on board. I really appreciate it and welcome. We've already got comments already, so I do there. Okay, we got Velvet Dip. I'm really looking forward to this as Charlotte is amazing and have fun. Oh, and that's sweet. My
Oh,
daughter's here too, so that's lovely. I can look, I
oh,
can even show the comments. Look at that. Isn't that
oh,
lovely? That is just lush. Great to have
oh.
support.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's where we got. So how are you? How's your day been? Have you been okay?
I'm good. I'm actually on annual leave from my main job at the moment, so just doing preparations for Halloween in the room at the moment. So I will show you around in a minute.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
can't
mess.
wait for
I'm
that.
not going to lie. Um, done a couple of runes readings earlier, so yeah, it's a pretty busy time, but
Oh, I
exciting.
can't wait to hear about the runes. I mean, they're still in the box. I haven't dedicated them. I'm looking, and it's quite complicated, isn't it? When you first, get to know your ruins and stuff. So it's there.
Yes.
But we're gonna start from the very, very beginning, and
Oh
I always ask my guests, how did it start for you? What was the first point that you started to notice, or what was your first experiences to get you onto this path?
gosh, so I was 8 years old,
Oh, bless.
and I chose my first ever crystal, which
Oh,
was hematite. Not the most exciting crystal by any means, but I don't know. You have the pretty sparkly ones like goldstone and amethyst, that kind of thing. I was just so drawn to hematite. I've actually got one here. Oh, by the way, for you all to
that's
see.
the only thing with the camera things. I
I
mean, hematite
know. Oh,
is a lush crystal to do. So, what made you
yeah.
pick hematite? We get like drawn to crystals, don't we?
I
Generally, but
honestly don't know because I was so young. Um, and I didn't even really know what crystals meant or anything at that stage. Just knew they're pretty and come home with that. And then it was like, oh, I like that. And then kind of bought a few more. And then my mum bought me a crystal Bible. And yeah, it just kind of went from there in my younger years up until, you know, when I started doing my training and everything and selling crystals. And yeah, that was the starting point for me, though, hematite. And it's still a very important crystal to me. I wear it every single day, um, or have it with me. Um, yeah, still one that really is important to me. And it's nothing really pretty about it, but yeah, now I know later on what it does and everything. There was obviously a time when I was 8 years old that I needed that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so that is like kind of like, so crystals was like the talking, like the talking point for you and
Yes.
your experiences. So what got you into the crystal healing side, like as you, I mean, when you got older and stuff? Sounds like your family was quite open to the spiritual side as well, for like, letting you pick crystals and stuff.
Yeah, it's quite funny because my mum was, I mean, she's a Reiki master. She qualified, gosh, we were talking about it the other day, about 25 years ago, she
Wow.
qualified.
You have to
So,
get her on
way,
here.
yeah, a long time ago, before it was even known what Reiki was.
Yeah.
So she was quite open to it. I can't really remember about Dad. And my nan, it's quite strange. She's in the spirit world now, but she kind of didn't follow or believe in what we did. But now that
Yeah.
she's in the spirit world, she is much more supportive. Bless her. And I'll talk to you about that when we talk about the witches
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, it's my mum has been the biggest support for me, and yeah, yeah, it's been but yeah, it's kind of growing my collection and everything, and yeah, it's been
So do
amazing.
I mean, so because you do Reiki yourself, don't you? You work alongside the crystals.
So I
Um
did my level 1 Reiki.
mhm.
um I was going to do my level 2. I love Reiki, I love receiving it, but it's not right for me at the moment to
Okay. Yeah.
progress on the Reiki path. But when I do my crystal healing and Indian head massage, obviously that comes in. And a lot of people say, "Oh, your hands are so warm and everything," and I
Mm.
always say, "Oh, it's the Reiki coming in." But I don't personally practice with it, but it's always there. But yeah, my mum for sure she does. But you never know. You never know. One time I
No,
might.
no, I'm the same. I've done my Reiki 1 and 2,
Yeah,
and I've done crystal therapy years
yeah,
ago, many years
yes,
ago.
yes.
Although I couldn't tell you all of the crystals and stuff, because I think when you don't practice it, you don't lose it, but you kind of forget, don't you, until you get
Yeah,
back into it, and then you sort of like, and you've encouraged me, Charlotte, to because I got loads of crystals everywhere, so you've encouraged me to sort of kind of add them to my readings and stuff. So it's like it's absolutely good. Yeah,
it's
amazing in that.
really
And
it's really funny you say that actually, because I had somebody. I think Georgie's actually watching. So hello, Georgie. Because
hi,
I'm off to
Georgie.
Glastonbury in for Halloween, and I was talking to her
Nice.
earlier about going to Glastonbury because I go there like every 3 months, and she actually said to me today, "You've inspired me to go to Glastonbury again." So I've booked my trip. So I've inspired
I
three
love
people.
Glastonbury.
Ah,
I'm trying to every time I try to arrange one of my daughters, we've gone down there. And I took her down there and she absolutely loved it. And
ah,
I'm trying to take Jojo down there. She's in the things. But every time we try to sort of arrange that, it just didn't haven't worked just yet. But it is on a I think Glastonbury is a way of just getting out of Bristol for me and just
yeah.
like, yeah, you've just come away calm after being in
Oh,
Glastonbury.
do you know what?
The
I
fun
started
and
going
everything.
when I was 16 years old. I'm 37 now, so I've been going there for a very long time. And yeah, try and go every 3 months now because
Yeah,
it's my happy space.
absolutely. I agree 100%. I love it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, you were like you done your Reiki, so you done that Reiki thing. I mean, for the viewers that is watching, I mean, usually, I mean, Reiki 1 is kind of like a personal journey,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
For like you got. I mean, did you do the diary? I had to do the diary for 3 months. Hi,
yeah.
Infinity, and hi, everybody. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
hello
you.
again.
Yeah, so you did the Reiki, so what was that like for you? We're gonna just like talk about your personal, like the journey, it sort of kind of, what was that like
Yeah.
for you?
So for me, as I say, like level one was enough for me.
Mhm.
Um, there may be a point that I go to level two. I was meant to do my level two, but when the time just isn't right,
Yeah.
um, it just wasn't right. And I've still got, I know an amazing lady who does Reiki training. And even she says, no, it's not the right time for you to do level two. And I'm not sure it ever will be, to be honest.
But that's fine. I mean, that's the magic of, like, about spirituality, like, all this healing that you can offer, and opportunities that you
Yes.
can offer, and readings we offer, and it's everybody's different, and they got different path they lead, and you've got to go with
Yeah.
what you feel, don't you?
Yeah.
And where you're drawn to.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So what is crystal healing to you? What we know that we touched on, like, when you were young, you were, you got drawn to the hepatite, and that was like, that's what done it for you.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing, when did you do your training, and your, then started doing the practice?
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of I still have a main job, so where I'm there 4 days a week. So I'm kind of doing this 3 days a week. But um yeah, definitely. So I started my crystal healing diploma in 2017.
Yeah.
I was then given the opportunity to sell crystals through a company. And yeah, great company, great experience. I learned a lot from them, but it was very much, I kind of had to copy and paste and then promote on social media.
Yeah.
Um,
I can
I,
hear music in the background. I don't know
is
what
it
that.
really loud?
Yeah, the thing with YouTube is, you can it can they can put a thing on it,
That's
so
fine.
I'm just
Get it
warning you.
turned down.
Yeah, I'm just warning you that they will put, like, which. Yeah, so yeah, sorry. So you were saying about your crystals and that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got to a point, I was like, why don't I just do this myself? Um, so yeah, I just bought 5 tumbles and sat on my sofa and went it alone. And then it kind of grew, and then I ran out of space on the sofa, so moved to the spare room. Then ran out of space in the spare room, and then ended up getting here. But I think my biggest time was 2018. So I qualified in the crystal healing, and that's when I started my sound healing journey. So did my level one and then level two sound healing.
So what is sound healing for the viewers? What is the
Yeah.
sound healing?
Yeah, so sound healing is anything with sound. It can just be singing, chanting. I use Tibetan singing bowls. So I run classes with Tibetan singing bowls. I have that in sort of my crystal healing as well. Even my Indian head massage, I do bring that into it. Um, but yeah, Charlie, my journey with sound healing was, I went to yoga. Um, Met this lovely guy, and he was a yoga teacher. And then he was like, "Oh, have you ever tried sound healing?" I was like, "No, what even is that?" And then went along to a sound healing session with Charlie. I'm sure she'll watch at some point, bless her.
Hi,
Um,
Charlie.
and yeah, most bizarre experience ever. So I was literally laying on the floor with all these sound bowls, and it was quite overwhelming, my first one, to the point I was hanging onto my yoga mat. and I kind
Oh,
of felt
wow.
like I was going off into space. It was really quite strange. And then I was like, quite like that actually. Let's try it again next week. And I kept going back, and it took me to a whole new level of, meditation. And then
Okay.
she said to me, Charlotte, I'm actually going to start training soon. Would you be interested? I was like, yeah, sign me up. I'm on it. And yeah, my level one was really interesting because I learned a lot about myself. And then, I think it's like 9 months later, I did level two. So, level one was you could just kind of do healing for yourself and one to ones, and then level two was you could do classes. Um, and that's scary for me. Running a class and,
Yeah, I can
talking
well
and
imagine.
I always had a thing. I think at school I just didn't like talking in front of more than four people. I hated doing presentations, hated that throughout college. Just awful. So for me to run a class with, up to 30 people looking at me was really overwhelming. But yeah, gave me a lot of confidence, and I do bring a lot of it, aside from just the classes. I do bring it into my healing with the crystals and Indian head
Sounds
massage as
sounds
well.
amazing. I mean, I've done drumming. I had a go at drumming and
Oh,
that. So it's kind of like you said, the sound thing, but I've never
yeah.
experienced. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye out. Is that aroma touch technique? Is that what you
So with the aromatouch technique, you use essential oils, and you have like set essential oils that you have to use, and in a set routine. But a lot of people think that it's kind of a massage, but it's very gentle. It's like a it's like a feather touch, kind of
Oh
just
wow,
along the
okay.
back. It's really soothing, really nurturing, and all the different oils are for different purposes. Yeah, it's really calming, and I do bring in the sort of sound healing into that as well. Um,
They get kind of like a triple whammy with you then really, don't they?
yeah,
with,
yeah,
with everything sort of kind of like coming together and stuff.
yeah.
So
And
what
some
in I mean,
people come in and they don't know what they want. So
yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, let's do a bit of everything. So
bit of
it works.
taster of every yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it works
Yeah,
really well.
I love that. Yeah. I'm your victim. Keep going. No, it's like, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely love it. So, what is the benefits from healing? Is there a difference from sound healing to crystal therapy to this aromatherapy, or is it kind of like all you kind of benefit pretty much the same? What's the difference in the different
Yeah.
types of healing that you do?
No, it's a really good question actually, because they're all, they all link in very well together, but they're all so different because, you know, all of them are linked to the chakras and meridian lines, etc. But the sound healing is more down to kind of balancing the water levels in the body. So it's kind
Oh,
of,
okay.
if you kind of skim a stone across the water, it has that ripple effect.
Yeah.
With the sound healing, it kind of has that throughout the body, because we're made up mainly from water. So it
Mhm.
kind of just calms everything down within the body. Obviously, you've got the hertz and everything, but you have each bowl is attached to a different chakra. Um,
Oh, okay.
so I've got 13, 14 bowls that I use.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, yeah, big setup when I do the classes. It's awesome. And yeah, they're each linked to different chakras. And
Mm.
sometimes in a class, I'll find somebody that I feel kind of needs a certain bowl more than somebody else. So they kind of, I push it that way. Um, I also do placement as well. So you
What's
can actually,
placement?
yeah, so you can actually place the bowl on that chakra and then strike it. So it really, it's like they call it like sound massage. It's
Oh,
the best
never heard of
feeling.
that.
It's the best feeling because it literally vibrates through your whole body. Um, and it's, yeah, it's just amazing. It's just another thing that you can do. Um, yeah, and then with crystals, obviously crystals are linked to chakras and everything. And if somebody's got a bit of pain somewhere, I'll use a particular crystal to help draw that out.
Mhm.
Um, I go a bit more in depth, so ask for kind of how they feel their energy is as a colour, if they feel they need another colour in their life, that sort of thing, and how their sleeping is, that kind of thing. So I do kind of normal crystal healing, but the more advanced one is more linked to colours and how that will help them as well. And then with the aromatouch, it's mainly linked to sort of meridian lines and getting the equilibrium right, that sort of thing. Um, Helping with sort of fighting diseases, that sort of thing. So
Okay.
they're all pretty interlinked, but very separate, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fascinated. It sounds
Yeah,
really,
I know, I know.
it
It's
can
why
go
I
quite,
love
yeah, so it's quite in depth really, isn't it? It's like that you
it.
know,
Is
from, yeah, so depending on the person. So
yeah,
having like a mix of it, you like you said, you're getting that triple whammy of
yeah,
balance in the body
yeah.
and just helping, that's, yeah, nice. Um, so, how does it work, the crystals? How does it work on the body? So you put, you lay them on the bed, I'd imagine. Is it, is that what you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put the crystals, you chose the colors. Do they pick the crystals, or do you intuitively decide, I feel drawn to, like you saying about the crystal balls, you were crystal chime thing. You were saying that I get pulled to a certain bowl. Is that how you work?
So with sort of a normal crystal healing, I'll use just the normal crystals that are associated with chakras. So, like
Right.
your heart chakra should be sort of pink or green. Generally, I use both because I think everybody needs a bit of extra.
Mm.
Um, but there's, when I go more into the advanced crystal healing, this is where I ask about how they feel their energy is as a colour. And I ask, sorry, my voice is going here.
That's all right.
So then I'll ask if there's a particular kind of emotion that they'd rather have more of. And then I
Hmm.
kind of link that to the crystal colour that's needed for them. So yeah, so I do sort of a grounding to start with. I've got my pendulum that I use just to see which chakras need a bit more help.
Yeah,
Um, then I do a selenite shower with one of the selenite ones.
I love
Um,
selenite.
oh, is it just not the best?
It is
Um,
amazing. Yeah.
it is, and it's so overlooked, really.
Mm.
Yeah, and then if I'm doing the advanced, then I lay what colour I think they need or they think they need, and then kind of swap and do the normal kind of, you know, chakra colours for them.
That sounds amazing. And what, how, I mean, when you've given them a healing, how long does it last for? How long do you think,
Mm.
or is it every person is different,
Yeah,
or
no, and again, another good question. So, to be honest, most people do fall asleep and they feel a bit embarrassed after that they've fallen asleep and snored or whatever. And I'm like,
that would be
that's fine.
drooling?
Yeah, that's fine. Like the same with sound healing, most people fall asleep, and that is the biggest compliment because they're falling asleep in front of a complete stranger, so they're at that level
Yeah,
of comfort, and that makes me so happy. So I don't care about snoring, any other bodily noises that happen. It happens. But yeah, I always say up to 48 hours. Um, and some people do get a bit upset after,
mhm.
or might get sort of cold symptoms, but it's release. It's
It's kind of
part of
that
the process.
self-care, isn't it? Like,
Mm.
being gentle with yourself for,
Yeah,
for those days. You've come from a healing session. It's not to overdo things, isn't it? For
yeah,
those couple of days.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I
And
always say, any questions, just ask. You know where I am. So,
yeah, no, it's nice to sort of like know. So what is your favorite, I mean, we went through the I can't say hepatite. We went through that. So what is your favorite go-to crystals that you would say as a crystal healer is like the
oh,
ultimate for you?
that's a tough question because there's so many, but as a real beginner, I would always go to clear quartz.
Mhm.
Um, it's your master healer. It doesn't look overly great, but balances all the chakras. It is your master healer, so physically or mentally. It will also amplify the healing of other crystals around it. So yeah, that would always be my starter one for people to go to. And then, amethyst, again, it's just very gentle. It's known as
Mm.
the natural tranquilizer. Um, Really calming. So the lighter coloured amethyst are more calming. The darker coloured are more sort of intuition based. So if you want to, develop, you know, um, with sort of what's the word I'm looking for?
Psychic development?
Yeah, yeah. Then you need sort of a darker one.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I've got
Yeah,
like this is my amethyst here. Oh, I'm doing a look, so that's, which I keep on the table. But I didn't realize the darker it is, the more
yeah,
you can develop from that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So darker, lighter ones that you should tend to sort of have on your bedside, under your pillow,
Yeah.
because it's more calming. Sort of in the front room if you've got a family environment there, but more darker ones are for psychic, intuition development, spiritual development, that sort of thing. Um,
In,
then I'd always go with rose quartz as well. Um, loving yourself, loving others, um, and definitely a black one. Everyone needs a black one in there, sort of
oh
a
yeah, I got mine there. I've also
yeah. I've got my black obsidian on,
yeah,
just for protection. Not
yeah.
that he's horrible or negative or anything, but some people, you just need that bit of protection around you as well, and for yourself, for others. Um, So yeah, those would be my
Go
probably
to
four.
starter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could sit here all night talking about benefits of all of them,
No?
and
Oh, well, you've got a question here anyway. So we've got a
hmm,
question from Jojo. What's the best crystal for helping bring courage when you have a lot of fears?
tiger's eye.
Oh, there you go, Jo. I got loads of tiger's eye. So you can have
Tiger's
one.
eye. 100%
Okay.
been my go-to, because the way I explain it to people is having that strength and courage and belief to
Yeah.
the tiger.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I hear you there. And I'm sure everybody's going to be googling Tiger's Eye. What's this
yeah,
Tiger's Eye?
and
Yeah. Yeah.
just the everything about it is just so wonderful to look at the best
Yeah.
of times, but just giving you that strength and that courage and that confidence of just, I say to my clients, you buy that, you've got that. You've got that. You are walking into that room as a tiger. Nothing's going to beat this.
Yeah. Love it. I love that. What would you say to someone who's never had, who's never had a crystal healing from you? What would you say? What would be your first sort of like discussion with them?
Hmm. So, sort of with all of my treatments, I just say just be comfortable. Like,
Mhm.
a lot of people worry that they can't talk to me or can't move, or things like that, and I'm just like, talk to me. If you need something, talk to me. If you're too cold, too hot, tell me, because I need you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, that's the most important thing for me. And, I kind of do need to know why you've come to see me. Um, so there is sort of that element of trust and finding out a bit more about you. And obviously, if you don't want to divulge, that's absolutely fine. But sometimes people come in and just be like, I don't know why I'm here. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. You've been brought to me for a reason. Um, Even if this is just your 1 hour out this week of just being in your safe, your safe space. It's your only 1 hour to yourself this week. Sometimes it is just that. And that's where the client consultation really does come in. Obviously, I have to have that for insurance purposes. Um, but it's just finding out a little bit more about the person and what they want. What do they want? Why are they here? What they're
Yeah.
struggling with.
Yeah.
And some people, this is a safe space for everybody. I say this all the time. If you just want to come in, have a cup of tea, a snack, fine. Read a book, fine. It's your safe space. But yeah, I just say anything goes, and it does. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like anything, I think even like tarot and stuff, um, it can come a counseling session sometimes, can't it?
hmm,
There's, and I always say there's so many layers that, whatever it is that you practice that you're doing, like whether it's healing or, doing tarot, oracle,
yeah,
sound healing, whatever it is that you're practicing, there
yeah,
is an element of like, they come to you for that reason of clarity or just wanting to clear their mind a bit, come away from the stresses.
yeah,
And you find that sometimes, even though they don't know why they come here, then all of a sudden it comes up, doesn't it? It brings stuff
yeah,
up to the surface. So you
yeah,
think they're like, oh my God, what's happened to me?
yeah. I
you know?
remember one of my first ever sound healing sessions was a really big one, and somebody just turned round to me and said, "Why did I cry?" And I was like, "Because you needed to.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
release." And then she spoke to me after and she said, "I've been bottling so much up for ages now." And it was just like, you needed that. That's why you cried. I get it all the time. Especially with the sound healing, you get people laughing, crying, snoring, farting, whatever, just goes.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted with my son.
Ah,
I'm busy at the moment. I'm busy at the moment. Okay, I'm busy at the moment. Okay. Sorry, Charlotte.
No, don't you worry. That's why I thought I'd do this in the room, because otherwise I'd have my dogs everywhere, like they'll
Yeah,
poop all
he
over.
knows, he knows, but yeah, you know what they're like. They push their luck.
Bless.
Yeah, no, I think it does. It does bring, from experiences, but it's good to know, like, for other people, because it can be a bit, so would you say to people that this could bring up emotions, this could bring up these things that is unexpected and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Especially, I don't find it with the aromatouch, but certainly with the sound healing and crystal healing, it does bring a lot to the surface. And it can be overwhelming, it can be quite scary at some
Yeah,
points. Um,
yeah,
and, even when people come in saying, "Oh, I don't know why I'm here," and then a lot comes up for them.
yeah,
And I think that's the most important time, because they don't know why they're here. They don't know why they're seeing
yeah,
it. Um,
yeah,
but they're drawn for some reason, and that healing has helped them. I hate seeing people cry, but I love seeing it too, because I know that it's a release for them and something that is
yeah.
needed for
It's
them.
kind of, yeah, it's something, that you're doing your job as a crystal therapist,
Yeah,
or when you're doing the healing and stuff, you're sort of like, you're something is bubbling inside of them, and we don't always know the reasons of our emotions, do we? Because we
no,
get so bogged down with life in general, and
yeah,
sometimes you're dealing with one thing after another, and it kind of a bit like constipation, it gets stuck, doesn't it?
yeah,
And you haven't had time to deal with it, and kind of,
yeah,
so would you say that the healing was a kind of a way to shift that vibration, that energy of what's, what you're
100%.
feeling stuck with?
100%, because our body is capable of healing, um, but it's having the tools to help it that bit more. So that's when the crystals and the Tibetan singing bowls and oils come into it, and even the runes to a level, because it kind of given you answers, but and a bit of thinking as well to do. And sometimes we don't think about things that we need to. We push it to one side and
Yeah,
close it off. Don't want to think about that. Don't want to talk about that. And with the runes especially, um, I know we have to say it's for entertainment purposes and all
I
that.
know.
Same with tarot for you.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we all know it's a bit deeper than that, don't we?
yeah,
Um,
absolutely, yeah,
and a lot more than that. But yeah, it's when the first rune is kind of pulled, and then they're like, "Oh, that kind of doesn't make sense," and then you get to the third one, and it's like, "Oh, yes, so I did that, which led to that, which is going to mean that," and it's like, yes, yes, it's a great feeling, and you send them away and just thinking about things a bit more.
yeah. No, I'm absolutely agreement. So I mean, we've got another question about crystals before we get into the rune elements. um but do you have you done it where you've done a rune reading before you done the healing?
No, so I haven't. Um, no, I haven't. Is just the answer.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Um, because I do try to keep the therapies separate unless it's a quick overview of them, because
yeah,
sometimes it's really overwhelming. So if I was to do, I don't know, Indian head massage, crystal healing, sound healing, that would be so overwhelming, full sessions, and then they wouldn't know which one has kind of benefited them the most,
Right, got you.
or which
Yeah.
one has given them the release they needed the most. So if I do kind of three, it's like 10 minutes, 10
Yeah.
minutes each. And then sometimes they're like, oh my God, the sound healing really did it for me. And it's like, okay, well, come to one of my classes. Or they'll be like, oh, I felt such a release of the crystals. And then it's like, okay, well, let's look at doing a crystal healing. So, no, but in short, I haven't done a runes reading before any. I kind of tried to keep that separate, although I am introducing the runes into some healing as well. So, like crystal healing, if I feel they need a particular rune, I will just place it under the bed.
Okay, that
Mm.
sounds good. We got Velvet. Velvet, she wanted to ask a question for you.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the best crystal for arthritis pain? And thank you.
So for any pain, I would always go with black crystal.
Oh, okay.
So you're looking at, I'd probably go black tourmaline or lava rock um, over black obsidian. Although black obsidian does work very well, but black obsidian is kind of your cutting negativity. It's really good at absorbing pain as well.
Yeah.
Any black crystal would always be my go-to. Um, I use them a lot, so she may be watching, or she may watch at some point, but I've got a client that come in with really bad shoulder pain.
Mhm.
So she bought a little, I think it was black obsidian, might have been black tourmaline, but I think it was obsidian. And she was just placing it on. So you can just actually, if somewhere you can't have it, you can just plaster it on or tape it on.
Mhm.
Um, and it will absorb. So black crystals tend to take the hit for you, very protective, but they absorb a lot of pain, a lot of negativity. So they do need to be cleansed and cleared a bit more than others. But yeah,
Okay.
any black crystal I'd go with.
So would that be the same for fibromyalgia and chronic back pain?
Yeah, any black crystal for any pain would be my go-to.
Okay. And what about fatigue? I'm asking for myself now. Like I'm being green and
Yeah,
greedy here.
no, no, not at all. So fatigue, I'd go with something like carnelian or any of the orangey yellowy crystals. So citrine,
Yeah.
uh, carnelian, anything like that. Mookaite jasper will just give you that kind of boost as well and a bit of vitality. So you can also sort of place it in water and drink the water, or place it next to water, and then it will have the healing benefit of the water for then you to drink internally. So it's called a crystal elixir. But yeah, great thing to have in the morning if you're feeling that little bit more tired. Definitely one of those would be a definite go to.
Well, there you go, guys. We're learning loads about crystals here. This is great.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, we're gonna, by all means, guys, if you come in and you want to ask a crystal question, we can go back any time. I can star the questions, but we get, is it okay to talk about the runes? I'm so intrigued with
Oh
these
yes,
runes.
oh yes, please
So
do.
what? So what got you? I mean, what are they, and what got you into it?
Oh my goodness, are you ready for this?
Yeah,
So,
I'm so excited.
so I am going to mention his name, bless him, because I did say to you earlier, I would mention him. He's on holiday at the moment, otherwise he would have listened in, but he's going to catch up next week. So, Mitch Garlington, if you guys have never heard of him, please look him up. Um, so he's a medium. He reads tarot. He reads runes. So it's not sort of your normal Nordic runes that I work with. I work with the witches' runes from him. Um, and I had a witches' runes reading with him, and my mum had one as well, and it was just like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And then I realised that he was doing some runes training. He lives near Glastonbury, so quite a way away, and I've been following him forever. And I said, oh no, I'm so sad I don't live any closer. Then he messaged me, he was like, it's funny you say that, but I'm actually going to do it on Zoom. And it was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, have my money. I'm so invested in this. And yeah, did the training with him, which was just so awesome. So yeah, there's 13 of them, which is an unlucky number for some. It's a lucky number for me. My beloved Nan was born on the 13th.
Oh, bless her.
She died on the 13th.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, it's quite strange because she always poo-pooed, didn't poo-poo, but wasn't kind of invested in crystals and Reiki and everything. And yeah, and then she passed, and she's now coming through quite a lot in the spirit world. And she actually come through when I did my training through Mitch, and was really supportive. Um, really kind of pushing me to go down this route, but it was really bizarre because they're not your typical Nordic runes, which I did buy a set of, and I just couldn't get on with them. I could not get on with them. I couldn't remember them. They didn't make sense to me. But witches' runes, they just are so simplified, and they kind of split into negative and positive. But negative is not negative. It's nothing nasty. It's kind of offering you guidance. So
Yeah.
prime example, you've got one called the Witch's Scythe, which is kind of like a blade to cut away negativity. So it's just kind of making you look at negativity around you and situations where you're feeling negative, or people, that kind of thing. So it's more of a guidance, it's nothing horrible. But yeah, I mean, in themselves, they're healing. So they're made of wood, and they've got copper in them as well. So at the end of a reading, I'll always just get them to kind of hold them on their heart chakra and take some breaths and just connect with them. But yeah, they're just awesome. And I kind of, at the moment, I'm just doing a sort of 3 month overview, which I think is quite nice. But
Have
does
you got them on hand? Your rune
I have,
stones?
yeah,
Your rune thing? Yeah. So
I have,
you can show people.
yeah.
I mean, I've got
So this is my little bag that I got from Glastonbury. Oh, other way.
it's very cute, like it.
Well, we had to have two bags because the runes are divas. So, but yeah, just to pull out a couple for you. Oh, how funny! Pulled out the witch's scythe one.
Oh, wow. You was only talking about that as well.
Yeah. So can you see? Oh, I keep going the wrong way. It is like the blade, the cutting blade.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, my favourite one. Ooh. So this is called Harvest. Um, So this is all about kind of growing, um, rewarding yourself. It's as simple as just growing a plant. Um, it's kind of sort of your personal growth, really
Yeah.
abundant kind of one. But yeah, they're just, yeah. I love working with both of them. Actually, it's just really bizarre that that witch's scythe one's come out literally as we were talking about that. So yeah, definitely strong today because come off from both readings as well. Both of them as earlier.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
So what's the difference to like the normal rune stones to the witch's rune stones?
yeah.
What's the
See, to be honest, I haven't dabbled too much into the sort of the Nordic ones.
yeah,
Was with the witches ones, we kind of don't really know their history. They've been around for a while, but not they were first sort of documented in 1950s. So you know, in the grand scheme of things, pretty recent to be honest. Whereas the others, yeah, I've got a set and I just couldn't connect. I couldn't remember the names and meanings. Whereas
yeah.
these are so simple, you know. You've got moon, you've got star, you've got sun, you know. They're very simple but really effective and
So what got yeah, well we you said about what you got into it. You sort of like, you had, you'd done the course with that gentleman and stuff.
yeah.
So uh, if I was to come to you for a reading, what would you say? How would it benefit me for starters?
Yeah, so it just give you the way I think of it, because obviously, as I say earlier, we have to say, you know, entertainment purposes and everything, but I think it just gives you something to go away with and think
Mm,
about, and especially with the 3 month overview that I do, kind of had a lady in earlier, she pulled, you know, the witch's scythe and needed to have a bit more protection around her next month, and she then said at the end of the reading, yeah, I'm going into a bit of a difficult situation, family situation next month, and a lot of negativity around. It was like, okay, well, take some black crystals with you for sure. Put yourself in your bubble, protect yourself. You know, even with the witch's scythe, if you're going into a particularly toxic situation with, you know, it's not always just people being nasty, but sometimes there's an element of jealousy
yeah.
involved. You know, social media's, you know, a big thing. You
Hmm.
can just visualize the scythe above them.
It's a
And
bit like the Reiki symbols, isn't it? When you put it in
yeah,
the room and
yeah,
over the your client or the person you're giving a healing to, it's
yeah,
you can do it as a protection thing then.
absolutely, absolutely. And it just gives a bit of guidance. And a lot of people are, oh, that kind of first one didn't make sense, but now it does because I'm doing that next,
Yeah,
which leads to that. And in the, you know, the 3 month scale, I'm doing that.
yeah.
So it's like,
I
okay,
agree with you because I mean, I with the tarot, I'm when I've done personal readings for myself, as a practice thing, and I film it and stuff, and then I rewatch it, or I do journaling with them, whatever I
yeah,
feel pulled to do, and genuinely, it's usually around the 3 month mark, unless I'm going into a like a more of a deeper tarot reading, but generally if it's just like like a quick little mini message, is
yeah,
usually you've got to allow things to sort of, and I try to tell people just allow it to uncover, so it's good to look back on to at a later date, because like you said, it doesn't always make sense at the time, but
mm.
then you can sort of relate to it.
And
Is it
that's
the
why.
same that sorry,
No,
go on.
carry on.
No, no, no. It's your podcast. You.
No, I always say to people, I get them to take a picture at the end
Yeah.
and take it away, and even Sometimes on my Pure Rebel Crystals page on Facebook, I'll do a random, if you leave your favourite emoji underneath, I'll pull a rune for you. And then I do that, and then actually did that a few days ago, and the amount of people come back and being like, oh my god, that really resonates, that makes so much sense. And it's just like, just from that one rune, just giving
Yeah.
that bit of guidance, it's lovely.
I just want to say to everybody that all links to reach Charlotte is in the description box. Please check it out. So if you want to follow her on Facebook and stuff, that is all, her group and that is all linked in. So, please do. I'm sure Charlotte would be happy, as long as it's all positive in it, so that, for sure, sure that will be the thing. So, how do you feel it bent? When, did you first do readings on yourself, Charlotte, before you sort of practice it, or how did it start? How did you start bringing it into like your profession?
With the witches' runes.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, so I did one for my mum, and looking back, it was horrendous. Um, but she thought it was brilliant, and it made complete sense to her. But looking just how far, I mean, I've not been doing this for long, for sure. I think it's about 5 months or something I've been actually doing it professionally, but just yeah, I think just having people saying, yeah, 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 that makes sense, and just the feedback, it's so wonderful,
Yeah,
so reassuring, and just kind of delivering those messages to people that, and again, going back to the whole thinking thing, sometimes we do push things aside that we have to, or kind of don't want to delve into something, and then I always feel like people always leave the room feeling a bit more, okay, I'm going to have a think about this. I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to wish on that star. I'm going to plan where I need to be. It's just simple. The witch's room's
so
so
it
simple.
helps you set your intentions. Then it's sort of kind
Yeah,
of where you want to be. So it sort of like clarifies, like,
yeah,
velvet tip says it gives you clarity, maybe, which it does, doesn't it? It just very similar to the tarot, and
yeah,
is that element, on oracle cards, is like, you know you know it's not like is reading the energy at that time, but we can still have our intentions on how we are gonna be mindful what we say, what we do, or how we,
yeah,
so when we know that we're gonna, there's some harsh vibes around and stuff, put in that, like you said, added protection of crystals, or doing a grounding root grounding thing,
yeah,
just to so you can, so you're sort of kind of forewarned, forearmed in it, basically, so
yeah.
you're able to
Just kind of going back to what you're saying about intention, our words are so strong. If you wake up in the morning saying, oh, I feel like rubbish, well, you're going to feel like rubbish. It's just kind of, I do kind of manifestation classes in here, and it's just changing that word in to kind of change it into a positive affirmation, and just repeating that process. And just be really mindful about what we're doing, how we're talking, our behaviour, even down to colours we're wearing.
yeah.
Wearing black all the time, great colour. I wear black quite a lot, but it's kind of got that undercurrent as well. That's
Neutral
yeah,
color in it, so yeah.
yeah, but can be perceived as quite negative. So then other people will look at you and think, oh, well, they're not feeling very happy. So then they're a bit more kind of
Yeah.
negative about around you. So is it, you know, so many different elements that you can look at, and affirmations and everything is just so important. And how we speak, you know, especially how we speak about others as well, you know. I did this runes reading today, and she said that she had a lot, well, somebody that was really negative around her, but she hasn't seen or spoken to him for a long time. And what should she do? And it was like, well, you know, protect yourself, but also for them to make you feel like that, they need help, they need love as well. And we don't always want to do that, do we? If somebody's making us sad or anything, we don't want
Yeah, that's right. You're
to
angry
give
at towards them, or your
yeah, yeah,
frustrations, isn't it? So there's that
yeah,
frustration part of it all.
yeah. And then it's like I just said, get some hematite, reflect that negativity away from you, and just say, I don't accept that negativity. Please, can you recycle that into love for the person?
Yeah, sounds good.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, going completely off there.
No, no, it's fine. Absolutely fine. It's all. I mean, like I've said to before to with other guests, that this is the point of me doing this podcast is bringing people on,
Yeah,
with different backgrounds,
yeah,
different experiences, because when we're one is going to give a bit of insight on how people work and how they built on it to have a bit of a level of understanding. And also, too, if they're like, again, experiences or having these experiences, it may sort of like trigger something that in them that, like, oh, that person felt had the same experience, or that so it's kind of relating it. I'm hoping this is going to be very relatable to people that's going on their journey too, but also for people that doesn't have an understanding so much, or they are a bit anxious of going and
mm,
looking at a crystal therapy, or you know whatever guests I have on tarot reading, and stuff. It kind of it opens the borderlines of, like, it's not as bad as I think it's going to be, or it's because it's sometimes websites and internet and stuff has really sort of like kind of like made it more than what
overwhelming.
it is, and it can
Yeah,
be scary, can't it, for someone who's not really explored that
yeah,
themselves, so to know that is kind of a natural, we're just going by the body and the natural, of the crystals and etc, and the healing and the music and stuff, and how it uplifts and changes.
yeah,
It's oh it it's gonna give them a bit more of a insight. We got, oh my god, amazing, beautiful, both of you, honey. Maria, someone called Maria. That's nice, isn't it?
oh, it's really funny you say that though, because I had friend of mine come in for Indian head massage and crystal healing combined a few months ago with her mum, and she runs like a holistic community. And she said the last couple of times that she had gone for Indian head massage, it was not traumatic, but created some anxiety in her. And I was like,
Yeah,
no, it shouldn't be like that. And you know, I know on some levels because I've done sort of beauty training and Swedish massage and stuff. I don't do any of that anymore, but it was like, no, that's not what I want here. That's not what I want here. And she said, oh, I felt so nurtured and so cared for and everything. And she was like, you've completely changed my mind about Indian head massage, because the last two have been overwhelming for her. And I was like, okay, well, really makes me happy that you've had a completely different experience here, and a nice one. So that's what this room is so important for me, that people just feel safe. I've got books
Yeah.
here if people want to come in and read a book. I've got snacks and everything everywhere, and I just want it to be a safe space for people. And it is scary if you've
Yeah,
never
I
had
mean,
healing.
that's another thing is like didn't go on first expressions as well. Get to know the person,
Yeah,
to know the person. And again,
yeah,
that's another reason. Um, because we can't always link with everybody, and we can't always communicate. We so you need to partly one is just to feel you need to feel safe with that person, because it is personal, and it is personal to
yeah,
the client, and you need to be able to communicate and work together, because it is like a team effort, really. I mean, you can
it
come and
is.
have a reading done, can't you, or a healing done, but you still need to do your part, whether that's like doing yourself, taking care of yourself after the healing, and
Yeah,
while your body's balancing out, or whether it's like you said, is like going away and really considering what the messages was sort of saying, and what you can change and manifest for yourself, and intentions. That's what I was trying to find, that kind of attention thing together as well. So I think it's just like having that all together is going to give you a much better experience.
yeah,
I feel,
yeah, absolutely. And it's so simple as just little things like I've had a few people come to me with like a bag of crystals that they've gone to a class about beginners crystals, and then they've come to me and actually don't know what any of the crystals are
yeah,
or what they do. And it's like, well, you've been in a class and been given a list of things to do for grounding, and then that's created an anxiety for them. Well, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to put that extra pressure on themselves. And I say, okay, well, that's great that you've had that way, but if it's creating anxiety for you and more pressure, then don't do it.
yeah, absolutely.
Simplify it.
I,
It's yeah.
Yeah, Joe says here, fear can get in the way so much sometimes.
Mm,
Um, and it can. So, I mean, another message we can give to the guys as well is, if you're not sure of something, ask. Don't be afraid
yeah,
to ask either.
yeah, and just
Um,
bring something. If something brings you comfort, bring it. If even if it's your pajamas, come in your pajamas. I don't care. Like, I just want you to be comfortable. Bring your teddy bear
yeah,
with you. Whatever brings you that comfort. And if this is what is so important that I tell people, that I know we touched base on earlier. If you come to me for healing and you're in the middle of the healing, I want you to be comfortable. Don't be nervous about talking to me or moving. I get so me and my friend Marina, we do sort of every 3 months we do a big healing session at the Bisley Yurt, and she does Reiki, and I do sound healing and crystal healing.
oh,
And I always say
nice.
to people, if you need to move, just put your hand up. It's fine. I'll come over, move the crystals off you. Just move. Just be comfortable. If you need to go to the toilet, put your hand up. I'll come over, take crystals off you. Just be comfortable. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, that's so important, even for like with the root, do it when you're doing the runes and stuff, and tarot and oracle cards. It's all the same in it. It's like the most important is that you feel comfortable,
And I think,
comfortable now.
especially with the witches' runes, everyone's a bit scared because they think, oh, witches' runes, but they're so unscary. They're so unscary, just guiding you, and they're nurturing. They're just beautiful, and but I think that whole kind of witches thing over them is scary for some people. But
Yeah.
the feedback I've had so far has just been absolutely amazing. I've not had anybody be like, "Oh, I don't like it," or anything. It's just been really good for them, and a lot to think about. And feedback I've got from it has been awesome.
This is like a different experience, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and it's good to do things differently as well. I mean, I like the charms, although I haven't done enough charms, but I have pulled them out on some lives, and it's nice to have a little bit of it's good to be curious, I think, and it's good to have
yeah,
and you find your way. So I think when you're sort of you tried the like you said, you tried the Reiki first, and though you enjoyed it, you didn't feel it's your path.
yeah,
um so it's kind of led you, you know but it's still, to me, it's leading you to where you need to be, and it's part of the experience
yeah,
that we go through. So some people may not want a tarot reading, because sometimes tarot readings can be kind of direct sometimes, whereas like the oracle cards and the runes can be a bit more, have a different effect, a different effect. You're still getting the same kind of value on it, but
yeah,
it's given a different approach. So it depends on your character as well, I think, as
yeah.
well. That
And it's really strange because I've had a calling for God about a year probably that I need to do a reading of some description, but tarot didn't sit with me. It's not that I don't like tarot or got any disbelief about tarot. I think it just wasn't right for me. Like Reiki level 2 isn't right for me. And then when I found the witches' rooms, and even Mitch said to me, "Is like I've never known anybody take to it like you have," and I feel like there's kind of it comes so naturally to me, like I just kind of got it like that, and it was like, is there a bit of past life going on there, and I found my thing, and
yeah.
Charlotte 4 years ago would never have thought about reading anything apart from a book,
So,
obviously.
oh, that fault. I mean, no, no, that's fine. We'll get back to that. But so you're saying that. Jojo says, Charlotte, have you ever done oracle or tarot cards, or are you just happy with your runes?
No, it's really strange you ask that because I don't do any tarot, but I do oracle cards, but on myself. Um, I don't offer that to anybody. Sometimes, if I feel there's a calling and I have a deck with me, I
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
I will also pull one occasionally in Pure Rebel Crystal group if I get a call in. Again, I'll pull one and say, don't know who this is for, but here it is. And but no, in short, I don't. I use them for myself, my own development, um, and for my loved ones. But no, not professionally. I don't. But that is something that I may
Do in the
venture down
future. Yeah,
at
yeah.
some point.
Um, Velvet Tip says, I connect with the angel cards. I find them intuitive and gentle. Yeah, I agree with you, Velvet.
Yeah,
Although I mean, I love my tarot, but I do tend to try and bring oracle involved in it, because it softens the reading a bit. It kind of gives the clarification of how the reading progress. in hindsight, just chucking 2 or 3 oracle cards gives you the same amount of
Mhm.
information as
Mhm.
would a normal tarot deck. Tarot reading would do, but it's simplifying it down. But
Yeah.
I do like it as a finishing touch, where it's like just to sort of like, because what you're dealing with, it can be a bit direct
It can,
sometimes.
and I think it's a nice thing to, finish off with and be a little bit more gentle, a bit more
Yeah,
guiding. It's really
yeah.
funny that you've mentioned that, because I went to an angel workshop um, last weekend because I had a call in for angels and stuff. So, um, yeah, I just bought my first angel oracle cards
Oh,
and actually
nice.
opened them earlier. Um, so yeah, potentially something that I will bring into some of the healing, even if it's just kind of placing it under the bed during healing.
Yeah.
I'll still get
No,
that.
that's yeah, definitely. Bring it, it's a starting point, isn't it? Once you've got the starting point,
Yeah.
you start investigating and bring, oh, I'm interested. I've got to dedicate it. It's like you've got to do oil with it and all that malarkey. And I was like, okay, I need a time where I'm actually in my area where I can just do my meditation and
Yeah.
do these. So I'm looking forward to sort of like adding them to my readings.
Oh, I'm
So thank you
excited.
for introducing, but they will be very similar to what I do. It'll be the tarot
Mhm.
and then like a finishing. What do they see it as? Like, when you do journal, because I'm a journal freak. I love my journals. I
Mhm.
do a lot of journaling, especially with the tarot and stuff.
Yeah.
So a reflection. So like a
Yeah.
reflective
Yeah.
from the reading itself, like the reflection.
Yeah.
Um, Joe, I do oracle cards too, although I can do struggle. I can do tarot, but struggle with them. So, yeah, I think like anything, everybody's got their own unique style, and
Mhm.
they've got something to offer. And it doesn't matter what tool you use, long as you feel comfortable with it and you're like it's singing to you, in it? It's got to sing to you
Mhm.
type of thing, in it. There you
Yeah.
go. See, I done that healing that music thing, Charlotte. And it's sing to the soul. Long as it chimes well with you. So yeah, so it is irrelevant, so long as it works for you, that's all that I think it and it you're getting the message across. I think that is the importance. It doesn't matter what you use,
No,
long as it
as long
works
as
for
you've
you.
got the right intention, and for the highest good, you know,
Yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
to hurt anybody. Um, yeah, it's just having that intention.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna look into your website. I've got it. Look, I'm organized. So this is where you can find. I love the name, by the way. How did you pick the name? Are you a little rebel?
Oh, do you know what? I'm so glad you've asked me that, because it's so important to me. Um, so I've named the business oh, in memory of my best friend that died in 2006.
Oh, bless.
So his name was DJ Pure.
Mhm.
He said I was a rebel, and I'm a massive James Dean fan, so love Rebel Without a Cause. Um, and when he passed, I said to his mum, I said, I'm just going to create a business in his memory one day. And yeah, here we are, Pure Rebel Crystals.
I love the name. It's fantastic, and what a great thing to do, like
Yeah.
to add that touch with for your friend. I bet he's looking down with pure joy, and
Oh,
seeing
he is.
you,
I know he is. Yeah.
yeah,
Mitch,
seeing you
and
sort of,
yeah, Mitch, who was my mentor for the witches' rooms. He said that he was there, and really grateful for everything I've done that I'm continuing, and yeah, it's a name that sticks out there, but personal reasons, and yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's absolutely amazing. I mean, we've got like, you got bits about crystal healing, the one-to-one. You do crystal parties. What's crystal parties?
Ah, so they're awesome. So I do them from any sort of age, from like 8 to 80 kind of thing. So
Yeah,
I actually go to some nursing homes and do them, and they kind of buy their bracelets and stuff. But yeah, I do them as birthday parties where I talk about them and get people to know a bit more about them, and or they come to the room, and if it's a hen party, they'll bring a bottle of prosecco with them, and we talk
love
about
it.
her and everything. But yeah, yeah, it's I love doing the parties. I don't do that many of them, but when I do,
It's
it's
fun. Yeah,
it's
it's
great
fun when
fun.
you do it. It's
It's
fun
great.
when you do it. Okay, so you can see like, the about. So we got oh, look at these crystals. Now I'm not seeing but I'm looking at the crystals at the moment. So I think I'm loving it. That absolutely beautiful crystals there. So what's the could you explain what crystals these are for the
Yeah.
viewers?
So they're all varied. So you got the selenite there, mixed there. You got the purple agates there. This is actually the one with the tree is actually a client. She ordered a
Oh,
couple of
okay.
pieces from me. Um, yeah, and then you got the amethyst heart. Yeah,
Are they
we've got a
wings
bit.
then?
Sorry.
Was they wings then I seen then? Let's have a look, see if I can pick up the pictures.
Oh, in the table one, yeah, possibly.
Um,
Oh,
I
that
can't.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So they're just little agate ones that you can get kind of bookend ones, but yeah, those are just little ones that kind of sit there and absorb negativity. But actually, because it's a geode, it pushes out positivity as well.
Oh wow, they'll be right at the front door, innit?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
I love this selenite light.
Right.
That is lush. I mean, selenite. I got loads of selenite. They were my babies, and I put them on the table. And it was only recently. I was having trouble with sleeping, which I do get sometimes, and I just felt pulled to do the selenite, so I put it under my pillow. Well, I held on to it,
Yeah,
shoved it in my,
yeah,
in my bra, and when I went to sleep, and it was the best night's sleep I ever had. So now I've got one in my pillow.
yeah. No,
And one up
brilliant.
the top, just
Yeah,
to sort of, because I can overthink things sometimes, and I'm not thinking anything. It's just that my brain is just working
yeah.
overtime,
And because
a lot.
linked to the moon energy, it's really nurturing and calming. So will help kind of get rid of those negative thoughts and everything. So
Yeah.
selenite's always a good one to have at the front door with black obsidian
Oh,
as
okay.
well.
I'll note that. I'll be putting that, putting one of those pieces up there. We did have a question. So, um, Bill, they wanted to know about anxiety. So, what would be the best crystal for anxiety?
Hmm. So we'll kind of need to know a little bit more about what's causing the anxiety, to be honest, to kind of offer that guidance. But I would definitely go fluorite.
Yeah,
Uh,
fluorite. I love fluorite. Yeah.
have I got any to hand? No, I don't. I've only got a bracelet. Let me just grab a bracelet very quickly, just so you can see it.
Nice. That's
So it's kind
pretty.
of your greeny purpley ones. It's basically a vacuum for anxiety. Um,
Really?
yeah, yes, that's my ultimate go-to. Um, I will be honest with you. I have experienced anxiety a few years ago when I was working in a particular job. Um, yeah, overwhelming. Couldn't really leave the house or anything. It got that bad.
Oh, sorry
Um,
to hear that.
oh no, it was a good few years ago, but yeah, completely overwhelming. So I get it, but that was always my go-to. Again, I would go back to Tiger's Eye as well. Just give you that strength and courage, but
Yeah.
kind of need to know a little bit more about what's going on there to,
What other emotions is like?
yeah, to kind of
Yeah.
offer that guidance a little bit further. But without going into that on here, I would absolutely
Mm,
go fluorite or yeah, Tiger's Eye for sure.
cool. There
I'm
you
really
go.
sorry to hear you're going through that. Bless you.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I do. I suffer from my anxiety as well.
Oh, it's horrible.
Um, s- yeah, it can
Yeah.
override things, can't it, sometimes? Menopause don't help either. So,
Oh, bless you.
yeah, it's just
Moonstone,
like,
moonstone.
really?
Yeah,
Moonstone.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll have a load of pendulums of different. I've got my pendulums here, and I have got fluorite and I ask a lot of questions with fluorite
Oh,
thing, but
beautiful.
it's a good stone to put for drinking water as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fluorite as well. So I used to use that for that
Yeah, and
as well.
again, just going back to clear quartz. Clear quartz,
Mm,
will help with anxiety very much so because it's on the physical, mental level as well, will help balance the
yeah.
chakras and everything. So another really good go-to one, and not expensive. None of those are expensive, so
No, and that's the main thing because I mean, there's so many, like you said
oh
at the
yeah,
beginning. I could talk crystals because there's so many crystals in there. I mean,
yeah.
I bought, when I first done I had books and books. I mean, and to be honest, my go-to book was always the Crystal Bible, always
I
out of
know,
all the
right?
books.
Don't
Yeah.
grab that big one. Sorry, I'm just gonna grab a book that'll be a really good help for everybody. The blue one, blue book. There, right where your hand is. Yeah. Yeah. So this book is really good.
Okay. And who does that? You'll have to send me and I can put it in the description box.
So it's Philip Permit. I don't know if you can see that there.
Okay.
But a really good book. I sell this in the room here because it just gives you everything. All the properties, everything, really detailed as well.
It's nicely laid out as well. It's
Yeah,
not complicated because
no,
some books I had was it didn't have a picture of the crystal for one, and two,
yeah,
it was just like really too in depth where it just, you
yeah,
just need to,
overwhelming. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
absolutely,
really good
yeah.
starter one. I'd highly recommend that one for anybody. It's simplified, it just kind of goes into colours. If you've got anxiety, depression, migraines, whatever, it will tell you what crystal you need
Oh,
to get.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's
highly
it's, it's
recommend that one.
simplified down.
Simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'll have a look at that one as well. I mean, I've got one and two as well, Crystal Bible,
Oh, I
and
know. I've still got my original one from when I was like 10 years old and still
oh,
treasure it.
oh no, that's lush. How
All
lush is
these years
that?
later. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's always good to have other thing. I mean, there is the internet and stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, so but a book you can just like it's just nice to open up in it and just
I'm
read.
old school. I like paper. I still
Yeah.
have a diary, paper diary and a
Yeah.
pen. I
Yeah.
can't be dealing with things on my phone. Paper, pen. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you work in it.
yeah,
So is there
yeah.
anything else you want to sort of like go into or talk about or wanting to sort of like
No,
um
I don't think I can, to be honest. But unless there's any questions,
so if anyone in the chat, if they've got any more questions about crystals or the runes or anything, just please put them in the chat. Um and we'll see. They're all very quiet. Although they're quite a few, you had quite a few questions, which is really great.
yeah. And I
And
just
it's great.
really
And
want to thank everybody for coming along. I've been, honestly, this is so out of my comfort zone. I've been so nervous, but it's been really easy. So thank you.
I said to you tonight, I said, trust me,
Oh,
I did say that and that. So,
I saw my
Joe,
best friend earlier. I said, I feel like I want to be sick and I can't stop having a
oh,
nervous
bless you.
break. But
Uh,
it's all been good. It's all
Yeah,
been
well,
good.
I'm the same. I told you that earlier. I'm like backwards and forwards before I begin.
I
Um,
know, I know.
yeah. So I can do it with my kids. As mum asked them what crystal they are today, I kind of like what I do with the grandkids. I say, what color are you today? And they tell me the color, what color they are, and then we look up crystals. So we've been see we take it, so I have been like getting back into it a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Velvet Tip, this has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. We ain't finished yet, Velvet. I I generally got some cards that I tend to ask guests. It's up to them if they want to take part, but I do want people in the room to take part as well. I think if we do it all together, so Charlotte won't feel so much alone. So for Jo, she's got what's the best crystal for emotional well-being?
Okay, that's a very good question. Again, I would easily go back to clear quartz or amethyst.
Oh, there you go.
Amethyst,
Yeah.
natural tranquilizer. Both of those, especially combined, because you've got the natural tranquilizing effect and calming effect if it's a lighter colour of the amethyst, and then the clear quartz will amplify that. So I'll make that a little bit stronger for you.
Trunk.
But I would definitely go with that. Um, Something that's really important that I always say to people, if you're wearing it in sort of jewellery form, for receiving, always have on your left wrist for receiving for you.
Okay.
For right, releasing or giving. So, for example, say I felt like this had taken enough and needed releasing, I'd put it on my right wrist. If I knew somebody needed some healing but didn't kind of go with the crystal vibes and everything,
Yeah.
I would probably put, like amethyst or rose quartz on my right wrist around them so they would
For
receive that.
receiving, releasing, and receiving.
Yeah, so receiving left, releasing right, or giving right.
That's a good, like, thank you, Charlotte, for that tip. That
No, it's
um,
so
I've
important.
just
So, yeah,
Yeah,
always
I'm just
my left.
learning oh, sorry. I just learning from the that I can do shorts like so I'm trying to figure that out at the moment. So I might
Yeah,
cut that down and put it into a short thing because that's a
yeah,
really good, thing to have.
yeah.
Um Danny, so you got more questions here. What crystal would you use to keep you protected from others' energy?
100% any of the black crystals or tiger's eye. I can't say that enough. Definitely, you know, the black will take the hit of negativity from you. So it depends kind of on the energy. If you need it to be a clean cut, like I'm done in a nice way, black obsidian. If it's kind of not that needs to be done that quick, I would definitely go for like lava rock or black tourmaline for both of
Okay, I
those.
love tourmaline. I do.
Or
I'd like that, but
again, the beautiful hematite because it will reflect it back, so it won't take the hit. You won't take the hit.
right.
It will
But it
reflect
reflect it
it
back
back.
like a
Yeah,
mirror thing. If you put, yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Wonderful. Great kept questions, guys.
yeah, definitely.
So, I think it's these. Just like trying to figure it out which ones I've got. So I've got some questions, Charlotte,
Hmm.
right, that I do. It's like fun get to know you questions. And I don't think it's, and I've lost it. I was a bit of a in a hickle pickle
Oh,
earlier.
bless you.
Yeah. Don't know what. Here we go. We got them. We got them. So I just got to find the card. Well, actually, I'm just gonna shuffle them. Um, so it's different questions. So it's iceberg questions for
Okay.
all the ones in the chat. Please, if you want to answer, I might. Generally, I got this, but I'm not very organized. I thought I was organized. I had a bit of a upset with one of the webcams and stuff, so I was like messing about with that. I'm gonna just shuffle, and we're gonna just pick a few. I'll answer too, so we'll be, guilty, So we're gonna just go. Um, so if you tell me when to stop, Charlotte.
Stop.
Right, okay, we're gonna go for yellow, which
Okay.
is at the top. If
Okay.
you have if you have to relieve the same day for the rest of your life, which day would you choose?
Oh, gosh. Wow, that's a really. Hmm. Okay. It would be the day I got the keys to this room.
Oh, I like that. Is it that
Yeah.
because of that like bubble feeling, like, you know?
Yeah, it was quite bizarre because I've been looking for somewhere for a long time and I couldn't afford it, and then this room come about and I got the keys and it was such a blank canvas. And honestly, I look back at videos from a year ago and I'm like, oh my goodness, you've got so much stuff in here. Completely changed. Like, starting from my sofa with like a handful of crystals to this room. It's yeah, that was definitely a amazing day for me, for sure.
I like that. So Danny turned around and said, "Seeing my children dance with me." So
Oh, I love
yeah,
that.
that's that. Joe says, "The day I healed as I never thought I would." Oh,
Oh,
Jojo.
bless
Both
you.
of them is like thing. I I'm kind of stuck on that because I got so many great memories that I would wanna. If I could go back for one day, I think it would be to see my nan again. My nan. Going back to that moment where I can give her a big massive hug.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's the day I would. I didn't know if I would want to repeat that all the time though. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. And then you start thinking about, yeah, I'd love to see my nan again. She loved my life. And
Mm.
the day I got my dog, who, she's 13 next month and everything. And
Oh, bless.
oh, she's loved my life, complete love of my life. Yeah, it does make you think, doesn't it? But I think that's
It
probably
does, yeah.
you know.
Velvet, thank you. I mean, thank you guys for joining in. The last day I spent at the seaside with my daughter. Oh, I
No.
love the seaside. Absolutely love the seaside. Um, so she said it was amazing. It was one of the best memories as a mother. You can't beat
Oh,
motherhood, can you? You know, uh, they grow up
oh,
so fast too. I say to the girls, make the most of the kids and that. So we go for another one. So I would say we just draw three. What do you reckon?
yeah,
You up for
let's go for
three?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Okay. So tell me when to stop.
stop.
Right, we got blue this time.
Okay.
So blue, how did you meet your best friend?
I think she might be watching. Um, at school. Um, and we were kind of friends, but it was only when we went into college years and yeah, become more close and you know, it's like going to the pub and everything like that. But we'll leave that there. But yeah, you know, all these years later at 37, bless her heart, she actually dug me out of a hole earlier because I've got a Halloween party here on Sunday and ordered some cake pop things, and I was meant to collect them this afternoon, and then the woman who made them said it needs to be this morning. I was like, I've got clients in, I can't, and I was like, Steph, I hate to ask, but can you help? And she collected them, and I've collected them just before here. But yeah, yeah, she's yeah, very big part of my life. I love her so much.
That's nice. I love that. Um, Joe says she's still due to meet them yet. So she's
Oh,
oh, bless you. Me, oh, hang on. So velvet tip, I'll let you guys answer first. I met my best friend the day I gave birth to her. My other,
oh.
oh, I love that. I married. Oh, I love that. That's lovely, Velvet. Absolutely
It's really
lovely.
lovely you say that because you know my mum is my best mate.
Mm.
She's my best mate. We do everything together. We do
Same,
everything.
my girls, me and my girls, we're very close. I spend more time with my daughters than I do with anybody else really, so I do spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah,
I was a bit of a rebel when I was younger, so I
not
was
a
out
pure
all the
rebel
time.
though.
I'm not saying nothing, Charlotte. I live to tell the tale, but yeah, so yeah, but yeah, they are my best friends. But I will tell you one that I meet. So Jay says I met my best friend when I was 13, 14, when we both moved to England around the same time. Wow, that's
Ah,
amazing, Jay.
I love
Yeah,
that. I love.
that's a long ass friendship, isn't it?
Yeah.
you know, tribals and so that's lovely. I love that. Me, I met my one of my closest friends online. We was It was Michelle Knight's thing, so we all used to go on there. I was a very timid person, wouldn't see boot to a goose.
Oh.
Hard to believe in it. Uh, but so we met online and we became very, very good friends. And she's been with me for many years, and she lives over in America. So
Oh.
but she's been one of my bestest, I would say, throughout the years. Like I got like strong contacts. We don't speak as much as we have done, but we still meet up, and it's like when you get one of those friends that like when you meet up, it don't feel like you have it's
Oh.
not been a lifetime.
No, exactly the same. Like me and Steph, we don't see each other a lot at all, um, but always there. And when I briefly
Yeah.
met her earlier for those cake things, it was just like a 10-minute conversation. But I felt so much better after I seen her, you know. And yeah, we go
It
to a lot
is.
time without talking, so I get that completely. But I think that happens a lot, and people think that to be best friends or friends, you have to live in each other's pockets, and you don't.
But you don't, do you? No,
No.
no, absolutely. Oh, so I got a compliment here. Joe says my mum is my best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Jay was, oh, where you gone, Jay? There you go. We didn't always have the best relationship friendship, but at the ripe old age of 40 we're proper besties. Yeah, but relationships, isn't it, it's one of those that it doesn't have to be like, it can't be all roses and
No.
fairies, and you
Right.
have your tribals, you have your, it's how you get, how you build it back together, isn't it? It's like how you work
100%.
through things, so we all,
Yeah.
we do. I've had falling outs with the friend that I have, but we got together and we talked about it, and it's just, it's a part of growing as a team, isn't it?
Communication.
Absolutely. Communication is
Communicate.
so
And I think so many people are scared of that. Like I am. I hate upsetting people, so I'd rather
me
upset
too.
myself than
Yeah.
say how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But the older I get, I'm like, no, I do actually need to be honest with you and say, I'm not really happy about what you did, or,
You did upset me, and
yeah, yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So um and Jason, she says there, my daughter says I'm her best friend. That's lush. Yeah.
yeah. Do you know
Um,
what? Like outside of, me and Steph, my mum is my best friend. She kept me alive. So I was diagnosed as diabetic when I was 14 months old.
oh
So
wow.
she had to inject me from 14 years old to keep me
Oh
alive.
bless
So,
her.
she still struggles with all of that all
Yeah,
these
I
years
can well
later.
imagine. Yeah, I
Um,
can.
so she didn't only give birth to me, but she's kept me alive all these years. And yeah, we've got such a strong bond. We do everything together. We literally do. It was her birthday yesterday, and we was at a terrarium workshop last night. Um,
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah, she had crystal healing yesterday, and yeah, we just yeah.
It's nice. I think it's nice, because I had my girls very young. So I was, well, 17 when I fell pregnant.
Oh, bless
Twins. So
you.
I had
Oh
twins
no
first
way!
time
Oh, bless
round.
you.
Yeah. So, and then like, so now they're like older. Like we are, we're sort of like, we're on a level now. They've got their kids now. They got, so it's just like,
Yeah,
it's just different development.
yeah.
Um. So oh, that's lovely. Yeah, kids, how they melt your heart. Yeah. Jay, I'm hopping off now, and but it's been great, and I'll pop back to do the rewatch. Yeah, please, and please share if you feel like this is going to be beneficial. And also like, share for Charlotte, so help to build clientele up and stuff, and sort of like, so they can get to know her as a person, and see how she, what she talks about her work and stuff. So please share. It's always good to do. I still got to do timestamps on the rest of them. Yeah. I just like behind is like so behind is that, unfortunately I wasn't well, so it kind of set me back,
Yeah.
as ill thing. So we're going to do one more last card, and I think
Okay.
then we can call it, finish it off. So this is going to be our finishing touches. So tell us when to stop then, Charlotte.
Stop.
Right, okay. So we've got like a darker grey here.
Okay.
Oh, so I already know my answer, but I'm gonna go. Would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long?
God, that's a tough one. Because would I, most people die sort of 70s, 80s. Would I want to live to 140? Probably not. So I was going lottery option, thank you.
Live twice as long, velvet tip. Yeah, so she says she would live. I'm with agreement with you, but I'm in my 50s, so 100 is doable. So I could do 100.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. It depends, I'm thinking too far ahead, probably.
But
Like,
I
yeah,
but I but I would understand, like, financially it was just set you up. You can still continue doing what you want, in it, but you can give more then. As I'm 49, so woohoo! You're 50th coming up soon then, Velvet. Yeah, so I'm 52. I'll be 53 next year. So yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah. No, there's me overthinking it completely. Like, age of death about 70, 80. Would I want to live to like 140?
Danny goes, I don't know. Ask me in a couple of years.
Good answer.
Joe's like, not sure.
Can we have another question?
And oh, she's 50 in a few weeks. So Velvet, sorry, Infinity,
Ah,
please stick with the lottery win.
well, if I win the lottery, I'll give you £50. How about that?
Oh, it sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Well, Charlotte, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh
I've
no,
had a
thank you.
blast, and what great insight that you've given. And I hope they would be able to. I'm hoping with all the what has been said that someone can actually take something away from this podcast. And like I said, please guys, just share. Um, and get the word out a little bit so people have more of an understanding. And yeah, I'm going to leave it as that. Charlotte, could you just stay behind with me? Well, I'll
Yeah,
end.
of
Yeah,
course.
just a few minutes. And yeah, so thank you very much for the ones that's watched and stuck around and is joined in and asked questions. It's
Yeah,
made the
thank you.
podcast. It does make the podcast more interaction, the better, I say. The more people, it's brilliant. So without further ado, I'm going to say good night. And I have got another lady coming on. Please keep an eye out. She's a tarot reader, and she's got we've got a lot to unpack with this lady too. So be prepared to get your feet up, a cup of tea, and just be prepared for it. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to wish you all a good night, and I will see you soon. Take care. Have a good weekend. Lots of love. Bye bye for now.